Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm on for my third video for my October guest design team project for Whichcraft Do You Do. So we've done birds and we've done butterflies. So for today's we're going to do bugs. Now I'm working with some of the slides again. You've seen in the last video how I've stamped on the slides and added windows and that, and in each one of my journals I'm doing similar things with the slides. Now the slides that I chose for the bugs journal have these little tabs on the side, so I want to use some of them as page tabs, which will be really cool. And you also saw in my last one, which was the butterfly ones, that I was leaving a couple of them blank like this as pockets that I was going to adhere to the page. So I thought I'd do the same in my bugs journal, and I'll actually make the tags to slip into the pockets and put the pockets on a page, so you see how I go about doing that. So first I have these two slides that I have stamped and I have added the window to. And what I have done also is, because the little tab piece is going to stick out, so when you turn the page you'll see the other side of it, I don't want it to be the white colour. So I have printed out another set. It's 2 pages of these tabbed slides. So I've printed the 2 pages out and just cut out the colours that I'm using on the pages today, so that I can cut out the tabs and just adhere them on the other side so that it will look the same when you turn the page over. So what I've been doing is just chopping these out and then sticking them to the other side. Then I'll just glue that down. So of course all the links to the kits that I'm using will be down below, as well as the link to the digitals in Whichcraft Do You Do's shop. And these slides are from the Slides Set 3 kit. Just stick it quickly so it looks even, and then I check the other side. Now you will see there's a fair bit of overhang there, but I can just trim it off that side. I just want it quite even on this side, and that side we can trim. So I'll just let it dry for a minute and then I'll trim that off. And then that part of it will be done. Then once I've trimmed it, I just go around and ink the edges to get rid of any white bits. And that's all ready to go now. Okay, now to start putting the slides onto our pages. So for some of the more decorative pages in the 3 journals, I'm using the coloured fly pages from secondhand books that I've harvested. A lot of the time they have plain backs, so I'll be able to use them to write on or add some more pockets in that too. So what I want to do, as I said, is overhang the tabs so they stick out and we can use them as page tabs. So I want to start by putting my first slide down the bottom, and this one's going to be a pocket that we can slip a tag in up the top there. So with this one I'm going to glue it. I'm thinking of leaving the top open a bit, well, open up this end but open down here a bit as well. So I might glue it from about here down around to about there, and then I will probably stitch in a few areas as well, just to really make sure that it stays on the page, because the slides are, you know, a little thick and that, and I think that the stitching will help it hold nicely. So I'll grab my glue again, and I also just want a fine little bit of glue because we still need to be able to fit our tag in nicely, so we don't want too much glue. So yes, I want this tab down the bottom here, so I'll be trying to put it about like that. So try and get my glue quite close to the edge here. And it's really just to tack it down a bit while we so. And we don't want overhang from our slide, so I'll quickly check that and make any adjustments. That's looking pretty good. I'll let that dry so that I can sew it after, so we'll get the others ready as well. So the next page will be this one, and we're having one of our brown slides on that one. And then we've got this one. Just trying to make sure I've got my placement of the slides good here. That one's going to be another pocket one. And then I've got this one, which will be, so yeah, I'm glad I did that because we're going to have to use this one's going to have to go here. And then the top one will be, so it's good to line them up before you stick them down so you can get the placement right. So they can all be shifted up a bit here. So we know the top one will go right up the top, so we could work on that one next, because that one will be quite easy. So with that one, as you can see, I found one of these beautiful labels. It's got this, I don't know whether it's a dragonfly or a wasp or something, the beautiful lacy wings, and I thought that would go perfectly with some of these. These are Tim Holtz Ideology wings. I thought that'd be fun to put in a slide. And then here's another one of the slides that I fixed up with the window in it. And I've put the back of the tab on. So that one's going to go up the top. And what I might do with this one is just close it off. So it just sits on the page like that as a decoration. Then we can put that over the top like that as well. I think that's really pretty. Now I'm just debating whether to corner around that top corner before I start, which I might do. So I think I use the 7mm on this one. We might have to adhere our little wings just a tad, so should be right just to stick them in that middle part there without the glue showing too much. So I'll just get the placement of them. Do we want them straight or on an angle? Kind of like them straight. Now what I might do is a pencil mark. I'm not sure about the tacky glue sticking this plastic stuff, but I know the Halmaz does, so I think I'll use that just to be sure. Just see if I can get a tiny bit out. that stick. I think that will be all right. We could put a little label in there if we wanted to, but I kind of like it just plain as it is. Could have put it down a bit lower, but I think that'll be fine. So as I said, this one we're going to stick down completely, so I'll put glue all the way around this one. So first things first is clean the window. I've got to keep remembering to clean my little windows, because once we've stuck it down, we won't have an opportunity to clean the inside. Check for overhang, that looks good, very good. All right, so that's that window done. Now again, I might sew in some areas on that as well, but I will put a little label on. I want to grunge it up a bit, but maybe not that much, but that's all right. That'll be fine. So there's that one. I tried eyeballing it on one of the journals and that didn't turn out too good, so I thought with this one I'll be a bit more careful with lining them up, because it does make a difference. That looks pretty good, I think. It will do. So I'm just going to put a little mark there and a little mark there. Can't see, oh yeah, I can see that bottom one, so I think we have to cover those marks. Yeah. All right. So this one should be ready to stick on. And again, I just want to, I'll leave it open a bit more up the top and just go around the three sides. You could do it as a side tuck if you wanted to and glue it down like that and stick stuff in from the side. That would be quite fun as well, but I'm just going to do top tucks. I think some of my glue dried up a bit, but that's all right because we'll be stitching. So again, I've just got a label here, and then I've fussy cut the little bugs out of book page that I've put onto the labels. So I've got those three ready to go. Now I've got to work on this one, which I haven't organised yet, but I do have an idea. I do have some postage stamps which are bug themed. So I'm thinking we could use one of those. Let's have a look what we've got in here. Got dragonfly. I suppose we'll just have a look and see how they look. That's pretty cool. Got this weird beetle thing. That's even cooler, I think, with the background colours. That's cool too. It's like a locust, I think, or a cricket or something. Then we've got these beetles, but I think I like the colours on that one. It's pretty plain. Could do some stamping maybe behind. I've got these Tim Holtz stamps. What I could do is just a number or something down in the window as well. So I might just do that to add something else. But I do like the colours on that stamp. So I think we might use that. So I'll be sticking that about there. That's just about right where it is. Stick our stamp down first. Don't think I'll even bother inking around that. Just love the way it looks as it is. Just hope it's sort of straight. I'm not very good at getting things straight. I think it'll do. Might be off centre a bit. Yeah, but that's all right. We will live with it. Now getting our stamp on. I might make this black. Beautiful. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. All right. So now this window is sticking all the way down. And of course on these pages I might do some more embellishment, but I won't do that today. Just mainly want to show you what I'm doing with some of the digitals today. Then I want to go off and embellish the rest of the journals, and then the next video will be the flip through. Okay, so it should be this one first, this one second, that one will be third. So that's the way these pages will fit, and then of course there'll be other pages in between them. Now we do have the 2 pockets that are ready for tags, and as I showed in my last video for the butterflies, I was going to make some tags out of background pieces that were from the Bugs kit, set 1, the Bugs collection, and also from these book pages that had these really cool pictures of butterfly pieces. Well, there are also bits of insects as well, so I've cut out a few of those. I used die cut, a circle die cut to cut them out. So I've got the background piece there, and I have stuck that onto some just some scrap card that I had around here, because I printed these out on thinner photo paper. So I've made my little tags that are going to hopefully slip into those pockets. So I've got to got to embellish them now with the beautiful bug pictures. So what I have got is, let's have a look if I can pick up the little, I've got the tongue of a housefly. Isn't that gross? So, and I've got, is it the saws of a sawfly? So I thought they're going to go on there, and they're going to slip down in the little windows, and that's a sawfly. And that is a fly. It's not a house fly, but it looks like house fly, so that'll do. So that's where they're going to slip into. So I've got to make my tags as well. But first I'm going to head off to the sewing machine and just do a little bit of sewing on these so that they stay on. And then hopefully we'll be able to slip our tags and we'll see how we go. Okay, so I have gone and sewn around and onto my page all my little slides. So there's that one. So oh, I didn't do the top of that one. I'm going to have to go back and do that. I'll do that afterwards. With this one, because it's not going to be a pocket, I was meant to sew up the top as well as the sides and the bottom. And that way, people can't be mistaken. Whoever gets the journal won't think there's a pocket up there. I love the way that's turned out. I love this label with those wings. I think that looks really cool. Very, very simple, but so effective. I really love it. And it's really cool having the tabs as page tabs as well. And so here's the other one with the stamp. Again, very, very simple, but I love that as a decoration for the page. And then we've got our two, which are the pockets. And so, of course, these are just sewed down the three sides so they open up the top. And as I said, I left them open down a bit either side just to make it a bit easier to slip my tags in and out, because the tags are a little thick. So I did just check to make sure my tags will slip in and out, and they do just slip in and out perfectly. So I'm really happy about that. So now I've just got to embellish them. Now I showed you what I'm using to do that, and that's all I'm going to use because we don't want any bulk on these to get caught as they slip in and out. And I did ink around these already the other day, just with a bit of my ground espresso ink, and the same with the tags as well. And I inked the back. So they are ready to go. Now the next thing I need to do is grab my pencil, because we want to make sure that the placement of our pictures is good when we slip our tags in the windows. So this is our sawfly. So he will go into this one. Now I know I'm going to need my tweezers for this as well. So I'll just take the little words off. So we want to figure out where we want that, but I don't want to lose it in there. So if you can see, it slips down just nicely. Maybe we'll take that off. Flip that in. So it's a perfect fit, because I didn't want to see the edges of the tag when you slip it in, and that just fits perfectly. So it looks like there's that ridge there. I'm looking at the grain of the wood there. And then there's that one above it, just to there. I'm thinking if we stick it around here, cover up that mark with it, we should be pretty right. So we will do that. Now I need my tweezers for the words here, and they can just sit down the bottom. Yep, down there. They'd look nice with something underneath, but as I said, it might get caught on the transparency at the back of the window, so I don't want to add that sort of bulk. Tell you, this tacky glue is getting tacky very quickly. Oh, rip my paper a bit, but that's all right. So that will be that one. Now, I would suggest that we're pretty well safe to do the other one at about the same place. If not, I will. We will take a risk. I've had so much fun playing with these slides. So I think it's the size of them because they're sort of bigger than the usual slides that I play with. Yeah, lots of fun. So many different things that you can do with them. Okay. And then we will want tag toppers because they do stick out a bit. So I think we can afford to do a nice tag topper. So what I've got for that is material. So we'll have the green on that one because it's sort of got a greeny tinge to it, and then brown on that one. And I do keep the bits of fluff that I pull out of the material, and I keep the cotton that I sew with, so we might add some of that too. So now I'm just going to debate whether I just want it like that or whether I want to fold it over. Kind of like it like that. I've been doing a bit of that in this journal. I was thinking of just putting that on top and then sort of sewing over the top of it a bit. Just it's a good way of using it up. Might as well just shove it in there somewhere. So I think I will grab I've got some fabric glue here. Just tack it down with some of this. Decide how much of this stuff we want on there. Yeah, maybe something like that. Just put a little bit of glue there. It's always a little bit that does not want to do what it's told. Okay, I'll leave that to dry. And we've got a green one, so might as well just do the same. I like those, they're cute. All right, let them dry and I will go and sew the tabs on. So there we've finished our tongue of a housefly tag. So that one goes over, no, get it right. Tongue, oh yeah, it does. It goes over in this one. So let's see how it fits in. Brilliant. Shift him over that way a bit. So he'll just fit in like that. And as you can see, I've already punched all the holes in the side of the page as well. So that fits nicely, and that's another thing I love about these book fly pages. They're usually good quality paper and sturdy enough to be able to hold a bit of ephemera as well. That's why I chose to use these. If you don't have them though, you can use your cardstock or scrapbook paper or digital prints on some sturdier paper. So I'm really happy with the way they've turned out. So let's slip in our saws of a sawfly into the one that has a picture of a sawfly. Now the labels, the names on the labels don't pertain to the pictures at all. Usually I'm quite anal about that stuff, but you can never necessarily find exactly what you're looking for. So, and I just love the labels. So I just picked whatever label to put on them, and that's fine. They just go so beautifully with these slides. So there we go. That has worked out really, really well, and they're not catching at all, so that's wonderful. I should try and take them out and see. Yeah, that's great. They're not catching, because initially I was going to make the plastic window as long as the slide, and then nothing would catch. And then I thought, no, they don't need to be, so I cut them shorter, forgetting that I was going to be sticking this little bit down here, which could catch as we're pulling it up. But it's not, so that's great. That's why I didn't put anything extra down there. So I think they look really cool. As I said, they're very, very simple, but I think they're very effective. And for a bug journal, I think they're nice and gross and interesting. So I was so happy to find these pictures. They're quite vintage. I think it's a book from the 40s or something. So really nice addition. And I just love mixing digitals with the things that I find in the secondhand shops and the old books and that sort of thing. I think they go really nicely together. So there, those pages. So there's just one more thing that I'd like to do with you guys. So I did show how I used plates from the Bug and the Birds kit for the cover pictures. But I also wanted to use those throughout the 3 journals for pages. So what I decided to do, because they are rather small, and I realised that I needed bigger pages for my cinched journal pages. So I decided that I'd use book fly pages as well as the backing pieces for the plates. That would add a nice contrast, and I have numerous pages of beautiful colours to choose from. So I raided all the pages and picked some that I thought would go nicely with the different plates, as you can see here. And I've already punched all the holes ready to go in them. So again, this is going to be really, really simple, but I think it's going to work well in these cinched journals. So I thought it would be good to show you this, because I just want to show you mostly of what I'm doing with the digitals in these videos, and it would be too much to film my whole process in making these journals, because I wouldn't get it done in the month. So yeah, but you'll see it all when I do the flip throughs of them in the next week. So I've got a lot of work to get done. But yeah, I did definitely want to show you like the main things that I'm doing with the digitals. So what I want to do is stick these onto the pages, but like what I did for the cover, I'm doing slightly different things with each of the journals for these pages. Now with this one, I used the vintage book corners, which were these gummed photograph corners that I found in an antique store, and I loved the packaging. Didn't know what I'd do with the corners, so I'm glad I found a use for them. These are these beautiful brown ones. Now for the cover, I left them as is and used them as you're meant to. I folded these bits over, and that added a bit of bulk to the back, which I didn't mind on the cover. But I think for these pages, I might actually cut them down so they're not so bulky and just stick the corner on top. So that is my plan. I also think I will use, as I did the cover as well, one of these collection labels. Now, I used a big one on the cover, but I have a whole heap of these little ones, and I thought they would look pretty cute down there as well. So that is what I'm going to do. So now I wasn't inking these in the other journals, but I'm going to ink lightly around the edge of them, I think, just to get the white away. I mean, I might have done that in the other journals. I can't remember. But I know I'm not inking a lot. So I'll probably put that on. Yeah, up the top a bit more if we're going to put the label on underneath. And I'll use this glue for this. I'll make sure that I've got you in frame because I keep moving my mat around everywhere. So it's a good idea to punch the holes first so you can get the placement of these where you like it. always get them crooked. I don't know if I get these crooked or I've just cut my pages crooked. I think it's a bit of both. So. Okay, now I have cut down these 4 corners just to save time, but obviously all I am doing is going down where the perforations are. Just like that to leave me with that brown bit. And I'll try my tacky glue for this, I think. And I think I should start getting used to using my tweezers more. Broken a bit down that corner, I'll just brush that off. They are quite brittle. I think that one's broken too in a few places. Note to self, be very careful with them. I do have 3 packs of these, so I've been hoarding them, but I thought for this project, why not use them? I'm tired of hoarding my stuff. I think it's easy to hoard when you don't sort of have much, and you know, a couple of years ago I didn't have anything. So you do sort of hoard it all. I'm getting to the stage where it's like, yeah, I think I've got enough now. Might have to start using some of it. So it's nice to get to the stage where, yeah, you don't feel like you've got to worry that you're going to run out of things if you use some of it. It's amazing how much you use of things, though, when you do start getting into it. Oh, I tell you, this glue sticks quick. Now, they're going to be a bit crooked in that, but that's all right. Don't want to play around with them too much because I don't want to break them. That is fine. Now, grab one of my labels. I do need a little bit of cutting down because I did use a scan and cut. And there's just a bit of white up the top here. So definitely have to ink these. Now I'm not going to put brads in these like I did on the cover. Just debating whether I want to put any fibre or anything underneath. Okay, I've looked at some layering materials and I actually don't like any of them for this. So I might actually stick it up there like that. It is a bit crooked. I'll try and make the other pages straighter. Good luck to me. But it will do anyway. Love it. Love these plates. They're absolutely beautiful. Love bugs. I just find them fascinating. I mean, I don't like them crawling on me and stuff, but I had one caught in my hair the other day. It looked a bit like that. That wasn't too pleasant, but otherwise I think they're pretty cool. So, all right, so I think that will be it for this video. And the next video you see will be the flip through of the 3 journals. So, but I think I've been able to show you in the last 3 videos the bulk of how I am using the bird and bug collection, the tickets and the labels and the slides especially. Just love those slides, but the labels too are just coming in so handy to embellish all the bits and pieces, and I'll be using a lot more of all of it throughout the journal, so do keep an eye out for that in the flip throughs. As I said, I will link Whichcraft Do You Do store below, as well as their YouTube, where they do tutorials using their digitals and other tutorials. And I'll also link the individual kits that I'm using here in case you want to go straight to one of those. So take care of yourselves. I've got to get back to it and get these beauties done, and I will see you soon. Bye.